and welcome to Things That Go Bump in the Night. I am the digital guru Joel Wilson here in the Digital Guru studio somewhere in Myrtle Beach. And this is after hours too, because I'm usually home in bed by now. I have with me AJ and Charlie from DNR Paranormal. How you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic.
Doing
Yeah,
great.
happy to be
But
here.
you know what? This isn't about us.
No,
No,
not
not
at
at
all.
all.
This is not about us one bit because I have a special guest. I found her on Instagram and I saw this and I'm like, this has got to be. I didn't know what to say. Carolyn, I want to say hi to you and won't you introduce yourself to my listeners?
Yeah, hi, I'm Carolyn, otherwise known as Ember the Cryptid on all of my social medias, including Instagram as well.
Well, we did a pre-podcast meeting and we're talking about this and we all came up with the same question and I get to ask it since it is my podcast. Carolyn, and it's the same question you've had 100,000 times. Why?
Oh man, there's a lot of deep roots in it for me. The biggest thing of becoming this cryptid monster, it actually originated from a childhood fear of mine, and it was a good coping mechanism to just become it.
Really?
Yes, yes. I remember watching some type of show when I was younger, and it always used to be a constant fear of mine running into it. And now I look into a mirror, and I am it.
Whoa, okay, that's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Not the answer I was expecting,
That's
but it's
almost
very
the
cool.
same reason. That's almost the same reason Chris and I got into ghost hunting. It
Yeah.
was something we were afraid of. They were like, let's become it. Let's do that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is
exactly.
not the answer that we expected here. We had our own theories. You threw us a curveball on that. Now,
Oh, wonderful.
the next question is, and I'm gonna ask that again because you know what, this is my show, so you guys can just sit there and watch me for a second. First of all, how long did it take? Because I've gone through all your IG posts and where you started to where you're at now, it had to have evolved. And is it still evolving, or have you said this is it?
Oh gosh, no. It's been going on and off consecutively for about 3 years. And it has evolved a lot. And I mean a lot. Before, I didn't have the mask, I didn't have the 7 layers that I have that you see now, and it is actually 7 layers.
Seven?
And I used to have a mask with me. I will show you. Grab you here.
I can't
I
imagine
used to
walking
be
around
in
with
a
that thing.
totally different
Oh,
mask
yeah.
before all
It's
of
got to
this.
be tough.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's got to be.
No, let's see a little bit here, but that used to be
Okay.
my old mask.
Oh, that's your
And
old mask?
that mask
Okay.
would be able to flip up and down as well. So I originally had that and just the dress, and that was it. And so as you can see, it's evolved quite a lot since then. And
Are,
it
are,
continues to evolve.
so next week it's going to be something different. And the week after that it's going to be something different. And then
Yes.
so we're going to have to interview again every couple of months to find out what's going on and what the new Ember, the cryptid is, right?
Oh, absolutely. She's constantly evolving. I just picked up some nice little pins I throw on my satchels. So there's all sorts of things that I pick up every weekend.
I gotcha. Now, go ahead.
Yeah, so what was the monster that actually inspired the costume?
So the monster that inspired it, it's otherwise known as the Wendigo. I
Oh
tend
my
not
goodness!
You called it!
Ah.
I guessed it. Okay,
I
that's
quit.
what I told them beforehand. I was like,
Okay.
Wendigo inspired.
Now we have to pay him
Yes.
20 bucks. Thank you very much.
Dang it! I always
I tend not to use it though. I tend when people ask, I just say cryptid, because there are some indigenous people that can get offended by that. So I tend to stay away from using that term. I just say cryptid and everyone's happy with it.
Well, how did you know that?
What I just covered. We kind of covered the Wendigo in one of our podcast episodes, so I was like,
Yep.
like it was
Or
inspired.
Leshy,
It's
people
like
refer to as Leshy as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
One thing I do have to ask because now that I see it up close and personal, obviously it's different when you're watching when you're seeing this. But I've seen you pull your hair back. You got a cap on. How
Yes.
hot is it underneath there? Because I know that you do some of these in the summertime.
Yes, I do it in well over 100-degree index under complete sun. But beyond that, I have 5 fans on me and a cooling system. So I am actually
Oh,
really
wow.
good. This last weekend, it was a 101-degree index. I think the high was 87. I was comfortable the entire day, which is
Really?
what's everyone like really surprised. Yeah, so I'll kind of show you a little bit.
Built-in cooling system. That's brilliant.
So cool.
That's impressive. Yeah.
So, these are the antlers up close in case anyone is paying attention. That kind of,
I like
I'll go
that.
more into that later, but let's see. So,
This isn't
let
just,
me-
I'm going to throw something together on Thursday for Saturday.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
It's a movie level
Right.
special effect costume.
Commitment.
I know.
so inside the mask, it'll be kind of a little bit hard to see, but in the very roof of the mask right here, there's one fan blowing directly into my face. And then on the very bottom is another one that blows up into my face.
Now, who had
So
these
that's the
ideas
second
to
one.
do this?
Honestly, mascots. I did some research and looked into like what mascots use for their fans for like when they're performing. Or even like fursuiters as well. They'll do the same thing where they'll actually get these small, like computer fans almost that are high speed,
Huh.
and they'll implement them into their costume somehow. So I've got those two. I also have two on my legs shooting up into the dress. So that is really nice.
I
And
bet.
then I also have a very large one with dual fans on the back of my neck.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now,
Kind of gives
people
you
don't see. Oh, that's cool. Now, how does
Yeah.
how does the mouth move?
So it is actually, there's hinges right back in here that
Okay.
just support everything. You kind of see a little white dot there. That is the hinge. And it's only on one hinge. There is no springs or anything helping keeping it closed. It actually rests right onto my chin. So there really isn't any need for special hinges or springs or anything like that to keep it closed. So if my jaw moves, it moves with me.
That is
Wow.
cool. Is it difficult to talk with that thing on? And you wear glasses. Do you wear contacts with it, or are you just bumping into
Do
everything?
yes, yeah. As you've seen with the human version of Ember, she has like the red contacts in her eyes too, so I can still perform in a sense.
Wow. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah. Where do you wear this thing normally too? Is this something that you just wear to like conventions? Do you wear this out in town to
Yeah.
grocery shop?
You go to
Like,
Chili's wearing it, and your date says, "Okay, I guess I'll have to do this."
Honestly, yes. So I do a bunch of different events throughout the whole year. Mainly just in the, spring, fall, summer season. I'll do mostly Renaissance fairs, and I'll also do like market Halloween fairs as well too. Like there's World Hollow Witches Market coming up near me. There's also Halloween markets I like to attend. Sometimes there's also like costume contests I'll put myself into and shoot my shot in that sense. And also convention as well. I did the Haunters convention in Chicago and the Midwest Haunt convention as well too.
So when there's a convention, now that you've been doing this, do people start looking for you because they know that you're going to be there and they want to have their picture taken with you?
Yes, even the witches market coming up on October 4th, I am expected to be there, and I'm totally fine with that.
Well, then you have to have an appearance fee, right?
That's what I
Yeah,
was gonna
honestly,
do.
yes. I had the main host wondering if I was there, and I said I already planned on it.
Well, what do you want to know?
Yeah, are you actually making any money doing this, or is it just
No,
all
I do this completely for fun.
Oh,
I've been
wow.
offered positions at like haunts and stuff come that season. I've just turned it down because I have to tell them like, hey guys, I do this for fun. I don't do this for profit. And like even like working for fairs too, that's been offered to me too. And I just tell them I do this for fun. I would love to. I juggle a lot of different things in my personal life. So if I could, I would. I don't have the time. It would be nice, but I just like to say I like to do this for fun. For fun.
So how do you fund the costume?
Yeah,
upgrade?
exactly. But
There's a bunch of
costs
personal
more than
things.
1995. I will tell you that right now.
I don't post much about it on my Cryptid page. I also do exotic animals, and I also work a full-time job. So I have 300 animals right now, give or take, that I handle, take care of, and do all of that. I attend about 70 events in the year, and I work a full-time job on top of that. So like tonight's a feed night for everybody, and so pretty much as soon as we're done here, I'm in the reptile room to about 1 in the morning, up by 7-ish. Good
Wow.
time.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Very
mean,
busy lady.
yes. You know what? When I asked to interview you, and it would be a great thing, and I had to postpone from last week. I apologize with that. We've had some really bad weather, and now we got a hurricane sitting right off the coast here.
Yeah.
It's gonna miss us.
It's gonna
We're
miss
be
us.
fine.
I know it's
Good,
doing
good.
for me, but
Okay.
we're looking. We don't. I didn't realize all the stuff that goes into this. Now, I will have to ask. that, like I said, that outfit costs more than 20 bucks. Do you have a guesstimate on how much you've put into that over the last 3 years?
Goodness. I would say, honestly, I would probably say under 500 bucks. This is all done by me. So with that work done by me, I didn't really have to buy a whole lot. The only things that I really bought per se were the pouches because I'm terrible at leather making. And that's kind of about it. Everything. Oh, and the antler tips. I had to source that as well. Because obviously I'm not a hunter by any means. So I was able to source some antler tips as well. But everything else, there's twigs on the necklace that's from outside. The the cloak's all done by me. The shawd bone is all done by me.
Wow.
The mask is all done by me. It's all 3D printed, along with the antlers too, is all 3D printed by me as well. So I was able to just make everything myself.
So those aren't real antlers?
Nope, nope, not really antlers. Everything's 3D printed.
Wow.
So they're able to be very, very light as well in my head. And what's nice is that these are separate from the mask. So even if I just wanted to wear the antlers, I'm good there as well. If I got tired of wearing the mask and or just wanted to do my human version.
It's like so many questions he's going through. It's kind of like, wow.
Yes.
I mean, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have the Wendigo based costume. Is there any other cryptid costumes that you've made, or or are there any other cryptids that you're into, or?
Yeah, very good question. This is actually my only more professional outfit that I've done. I had just a normal Renaissance outfit, but that was just really basic, nothing special about it. Wore once or twice, but no, this is my first ever legit costume I've ever made. And it was a big learning curve on a lot of the items too. So especially even the 3D printing, the cutting, the sewing, everything else, the painting, everything was a new skill for me.
Is it your last, or are you going to go say, you know what? Let me try this, or let me try this now.
I
Or is
actually
that we
do.
have to have you back on so you can unveil something to all our listeners?
I do have something in the works.
Ooh.
I am working on it at the moment. I'll leave it a surprise, but it'll be a lot of armor.
Oh, cool.
Armor. Oh,
Now you should see everyone's eyes lit up going, what the hell could that be?
yeah.
Yes, it'll be posted on my Instagram. I hope in about a month I have it completed. I would like to have it completed before October 5th. October 4th is Witches Market, and October 5th is another Renaissance fair that is in Stronghold. So it's at like this really pretty castle. So we shall see.
Well, how about this? Are you going to come on to our podcast and do it and show us what it is? How's that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have the mannequin set up again.
Oh, we will definitely, and you guys are going to be there. Um, I mean, it's like how many fairs do you said you do for Renaissance fairs? How many are you doing? 50, 100 a year?
Well, combining all of the events I do, so I do reptile shows as well, and then all of my Renaissance and other conventions. My schedule right now is on a Google spreadsheet. I have 70 events for the year. Obviously, not all of them I can attend if they're overlapping, but give or take about 60 events I attend for the year.
Wow.
So, like, it's mostly Renaissance Fair. My biggest one is the Bristol Renaissance Fair in Bristol, Wisconsin. So that's my or Kenosha, Wisconsin, as other people call it. That is my biggest one because it is several weekends throughout the summer. Besides that, my other Renaissance fairs are going to be Janesville, Wisconsin, and there's a few in Illinois as well.
So you're just in the Midwest because, we've got some stuff down here in the beach that I think you'd be perfect for. Charlotte,
Yes,
Raleigh, Jacksonville, Myrtle Beach.
Yes,
We'll
I
pay
have
for you to
been
come down
offered
here.
to
How's
come.
that?
I would love to. I just have to juggle the 300 animals at the same time and hope that we can manage a
You
circus
can't bring
around
the
that.
animals with you. I will tell you that right now. I don't think that's going to
Yeah,
work.
I'm going to Florida. I might bring some home.
I can't put all those animals in the studio here. Come on.
Hard to find cities with 300 exotic
Yeah,
animals.
ask that one.
Animals do you have too? You said you work with exotic animals. Like, what are you talking
Yes.
exotic?
I work with a bunch of different amphibians and reptiles currently. I could be here all day talking just about that hobby. Essentially, my company, I have a whole company around it. It's called Illinois Valley Geckos. I work with many different species of reptiles, including like geckos, fire skinks. I own, I think, half a dozen, if not more, types of species. And same thing for the amphibians. I own poison dart frogs too. So those are their little kick of mine, and another half dozen species there.
Wow.
Nice.
Got my hands full.
This is a side question. I heard poison dart frogs aren't actually poisonous unless you feed them like poisonous like food. Is that true?
Somewhat. So in captivity, they are no longer poisonous because in the wild there are the poison plants. The bugs eat the poison plants, and essentially that's where they get their toxin from, is eating those toxic bugs. Obviously, in captivity, there is no toxin. There is no, kind of those plants and fruit flies, and that's it. So they lose in captivity, and especially with breeding over time. But I could talk your ear off about that all day.
Oh man, we got to have her on just from that alone because that's. I mean, we're sitting there going and
Yeah, yeah.
I know. It's like okay, now take the camera. Let's go into the reptile room now and see all the reptiles.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I can have that be one of the other future podcasts that we do together. I can do a little show and tell there.
That would be cool.
Have the reptiles?
Yeah, I am more than open.
Like, full outfit and been like terrified.
The reptiles? You trying to scare the reptiles?
Luckily, it hasn't spooked any of them yet.
Okay, now this is a serious question because I know the Renaissance fairs and sometimes you have the little kids. Have you ever had kids who are kind of scared of what you are?
Yeah, quite often. I try to give them some kind of like a fist bump or a high five, or I'll just start talking. Because if I'm
that would really help talking.
Yes.
A female voice coming out of there going, hey, give me cleaner.
Yeah, that's usually what does it for the little kids. And, they'll give me a fist bump or a high five and their eyes will light up if I do start talking in my normal voice. And, because sometimes I'll be like grunging a little way or, drop my voice of octave and, or just don't talk in the cryptid costume because, less you do talking of your human voice, the better in a sense, because you're completely covered. So if I do notice a child that is, give me the scared look, I will reach out and say like, hi, and be like, what's your name? And, introduce myself and make them, flip the mood a bit.
You realize there's a whole generation of kids in the Midwest now who are having nightmares of this thing. Mommy, I saw this.
I've told a few times. I have been told a few times, definitely. I've been told, what are you doing out of my dreams?
Exactly. Okay. Another question I do have to ask, and I've watched on your Instagram. What is this with the staff that lit up and you didn't know?
Oh yes, that was one of the costume contests that I did. I've got my staff right here, actually.
Yeah, she's walking down and it's like boom, boom, and you can see her like, ooh, this is cool. Wow.
Yeah, that kind of spooked me a bit. So essentially on the staff, there is a flashlight right here. And I had a different style flashlight that was a little bit bigger. And the main purpose of this is to give let me get to the right setting here. I've got different settings. So it gives a red glow. So if I am doing a night show, it can illuminate where I walk and also give a cool, presence and aura to her. No, so that was my first time trying out that flashlight on a stage in front of a lot of people. And I walked up on stage thinking that I had the red on. Nope. It changed every step I took. It kept flashing from red to white to off to red to white to off. And it just looked a little goofy when I watched myself back. And I eventually, when I walked backstage, I looked down and I'm like, oh, this is changing. I bet it started changing when I was up on stage. And so when I went back up on stage immediately after, I just kind of played with it for a little bit. I'm like, okay, every time I move the staff on the ground, it changes color.
Wow.
They make the flashlights cheap, so they're not meant to be dashed around, but that is okay.
Now, when they're doing the costume contest, is everybody just looking at you and go, you know what, we're going to lose, so you've won it?
I did have a few people mention that to me when I first walked up into the line of everybody, and they were like, "What haunt do you work for?" And I'm like, "None." And there were, there's been conventions where there's plenty better, and they've rightfully won. But I've had plenty of people even come up to me, even if I don't win, saying that you should have won this. I'm like, well, thank you. I can't win them all, especially if there's better if it's just a big conventions with thousands and thousands of people. There's always going to be those crazy costumes, especially from video games where people recognize the character. And this being an original character completely made out of my brain, not everyone thinks of like, oh, that's better than this. So whichever, totally fine. Not opposed to it at all. I totally respect the ones that win. But yeah, no, there's times where I've walked backstage and you see the heads drop.
So how do you see through that mask too? Because I've noticed you have lights
Yeah,
in your eyes
for
and
sure.
is
So,
breathing different
um,
there too.
basically the same cloth that is used on speakers is what I see through. I should
Okay.
have done it as a like a fursuit or a mascot mesh where it's like almost like window screen, but you can't really see your eyes through it. I should have done that, but that's okay. If I were to redo this, that'd be something I would change. But no, it's a speaker cloth because this can actually move with the jaw and
Hmm.
have some stretch with it. So it's all one big piece on the inside of the cloth. So I can see, but as soon as it gets dark outside, that visibility is gone. I
Oh
usually
yeah.
have a friend as a handler just so I can kind of use their shadow to walk around at events.
So you need somebody to like walk next to you if it's like dark.
Usually,
Turn
yes,
left,
even
turn
as soon as
Turn
it
right.
gets
left, turn
dark.
right.
Yep, exactly. And that's where the flashlight comes in because I did not have that last year for my night events and I was stumbling around.
What is it? I mean, if you fall down, is it hard to get back up on that thing?
I knock on wood, have not had it happen yet.
Okay, now that we said it, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
I know,
Right?
but that's where the staff comes in too. This thing has a steel rod right through it. I'll break things.
Wow.
So there is a steel rod that runs right through this. It's about a half-inch steel rod. So I can put my full weight on this and not be afraid. So I'll use it almost like a walking stick. And this goes before me so I can feel what dropped before me too.
That is so cool. I do have to ask, how tall are you? Because I mean, I see this. Are you like a 5'4" cryptid, or are you like a 5'8"?
Yeah, I'm a little shorter. I'm 5'5". So I have some friends that are like 6'2", 6'3", that do a similar costume.
Ooh, that'd be
That are
cool.
slowly getting more and more into their costume. And they just look so daunting to a little cryptid like me.
Oh, well, you got.
Yeah, so you said this comes from uh like nightmares I used to have that you've created a character out of to fight the fear. Do you have a backstory to your cryptid now that you've kind of created for yourself?
Yes. So she has a whole lore behind her essentially. Would you guys want me to go quickly through that?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. We want to hear
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. So a quick summarized version of her lore is that she used to be a shaman in the woods. Um, People were coming by, this is old times, where they were coming to harvest the wood and destroy the forest. So her only way of protecting that, because she couldn't do it alone, was to make a deal with the actual magic of the forest herself. In turn, she loses everything of herself and becomes this. So, but in return from the forest, she gets eternal life. And she gets a couple abilities as well too to kind of help her around. She's a shapeshifter and she does pyromancy as well, so she can bend and wield fire. And so in the times where people were coming to destroy forests or wreak havoc or do anything to damage of anything of nature in her realm that she likes to protect, she would take them out essentially.
I like it.
and
So it's a violent
and
cryptid, your favorite.
so
My
A
favorite.
violent cryptid, I see.
yes, it's either she grants wrath or wisdom depending on yourself. So she can let you go with passage, or if she can tell that you're up to no good, bye bye.
Wow. Now I'm
Yeah,
scared
so
of you.
for sure. And she's got a few different shape-shifting, she can obviously do the human version of herself. That one's temporary, but she can also do forest dwelling animals as well in dark nature. So example would be an owl, but it'd be like a black owl or like a black deer, like an almost melanistic deer, but with the glowing red eyes. So she can get around that way to be more discreet, or just be in her normal cryptid version as well.
It's like the not deer.
Yeah, it's like the not almost like a skinwalker
Yeah,
Wendigo
exactly.
hybrid. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, we're gonna wrap this episode up, but we got to have you on again. Promise me you'll be on again.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I am 100% committed.
This is fun. Are you guys enjoying this?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, this is a blast. Yes, when we have when I tell when I show when I get it done, I'll give you guys the link so you can do it. But yes, at least once a month. And then when you have your new one unveiled, we want to be at the unveiling party.
Yes, absolutely. I will be more than happy to be back on the podcast.
Oh, I love this. Well, we're going to wrap this up. This is Joel Wilson, and I will see you on the other side.
And we are DNR Paranormal from the DNR Paranormal Cryptophiles podcast. Come check us out.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys having me on.